Biker Barb here, and I got a fun new bike to show you. We just got on our showroom floor. It is a trade-in, but it's also a 22. And I got the keys right here. 22 Scout in maroon, which I think is a beautiful color. And it is actually one of the only Indians they're now making that has the brown seat. And I love that look. It's so classic looking. Let's check it out, shall we? Here we have the 22 Scout. We're just going to do a quick walk around on it. I didn't bring any of my equipment to do an actual test ride video, but that's okay. I recommend, if you do really like this bike, I recommend you find one to test ride, because you're just going to fall in love with it if you haven't been able to test ride one yet. So this one's the Scout in Maroon Metallic V-twin with 100 horsepower. It's pretty powerful. It's fun to ride. You still have the chrome accents there on the exhaust. You have them on top of the headers. There's just some, you know, fun chrome pieces on this. You have them on the forks over here. And Indian just pays so much attention to detail. You got the Indian right in here. So as you may already know, there's a lot of different Scouts in the Scout lineup. This is the Scout. There's also the Scout Bobber, the Scout Bobber 20, and then also the new one, which is called the Scout Rogue. And those have a little bit different look to them. Looks a little bit more like a Scout Bobber, but it has a little bit more accessories on it. But we can talk about that later when I do another video on the Scout Rogue. All the Scouts in the Scout lineup, except for the Scout 20, comes as a 60 as well. So it comes with 5 gears instead of 6. And it also is a 900 instead of a 1200. So this one's complete, even though it's used, it's almost completely stock except for the back seat. And this is the only Scout in the Scout lineup that actually comes with a 2-up seat. The Scout 60 does not, and none of the Scout Bobber Rogues, 20s, Scout Bobber, none of those come with a 2-up seat. This bike is 100 horsepower. It has a 3.3 fuel tank. You get into the fuel tank, whoa, my finger. We get into the fuel tank with the key. Now there's no gas gauge on it, but that's okay, because there is a tripometer. So the best way to keep track of your miles is using your trip 1. You would just, once you fill up, you would just restart your trip 1, and then you can kind of gauge from there when you need to get gas. Usually I tell my customers about 100 to 110 miles. Now that's very conservative. I just don't want to call at some point and someone saying, you said I can go 110 miles not needing gas, or 120 miles without needing to go get gas. There is a gas indicator right here, if you can see that. So I don't know if you saw, but what I was clicking through was this back on the left handlebar, and that just goes right through your dash here. So you have your RPMs, your battery voltage, your miles. So this one only has about 1,000 miles on it. Then back to your trip 1, and then your RPMs. It also has a gear indicator, the time, which is wrong. Now this, if you're looking for a Scout, but you want to be a little bit more comfortable, but also do like longer distance, this is kind of the perfect Scout. You get the more comfortable handlebars. They are back a little bit, so they are sitting up a little bit straighter. You also can get 2 bags on each side from Indian. With the Bobber, with any of the other ones, the Scout Bobber, the Scout Rogue, the Scout Bobber Rogue, the Scout Bobber 20, you can only from Indian get one side. So I did want to kind of let you see that. Usually I can take off the seat easily and show you, but I would need a tool for this one. If you get any of the Scout Bobbers, you would just lift up here and it would come right off. But you do need to take off this screw to take off your seat. You just pop it up this way, pop it up that way, and down here you got your fuse box and your battery. So it's pretty easy to get to, pretty easy to take care of. And you also have your dipstick down over here. So that's pretty easy to get to as well. There's also a lot of accessories you can get for this bike. As you can see, you have the back seat. You can get the matching leather bags. So you can get leather that matches this in the bags. You can also get the black bags, which I don't know if I'd put on this bike, but you know, you can do whatever you want. It'd be your bike, right? You can get an LED. Ooh, let me turn it off. I don't know. I get stuck down here. You can get an LED light if you want to. You can get a windshield. You can really customize this bike. You can get heated grips. You can just, make this your little commuter, make this your touring bike. You can just make it your bike you take up to the mountains on the weekends, weekend rides. It's very versatile. And the other great thing about this bike, which is the same for any of the Scouts in the Scout lineup, any exhausts that'll fit this will fit any bike in the Scout lineup. And there's so many compilations out there, and they're all they all sound so good. And these are like 24 pounds together. Once you take that off and put something a little bit lighter on, you're just gonna feel so much more power. It's gonna feel more lightweight. So this was kind of an impromptu video. I know my information was everywhere, but I hope you find it informative still. Oh, my hair. I hope you find it informative still. It's a great bike. It's going to make anyone happy. A lot of people say it's a great beginner bike, but it's really just a great bike for anyone. Anyone will have a blast on this. But yes, it is a great beginner bike. The seat height's low. It's about 26 inches. So most people are flat-footed on this, but if you're not flat-footed on this, it is light, so you don't really have to worry about the weight getting to you at stop signs or slow maneuvers or anything like that. I hope you like my video, and I hope it's informative, and Biker Barb.